Is Argentina where all the Nazis went?
Yes.
Yeah?
And where all the Jews went.
Jews too.
The biggest Jewish population.
They were just letting in everybody at that time.
And then you live next door to a Nazi and you're a Jew. And you're like,
Hey,
wait a second.
but you don't. You know what I mean? Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. As always, thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Abbas Wahab saying thank you to everyone who came out of Montreal for the Forced Diversity comedy show. Thanks a lot. That shit was a banger. I can't wait to go back out to Montreal in a couple months. I'm going to give it a while. That city's just, it's too hard not to get ticketed in that fucking city. What the hell is Lundy? What the hell is Mekardi? Fuck those weekdays. And enough of that. With me today in the studio, first time in the Immigrant Section, hilarious comedian, been doing comedy with him for years here in Toronto. My guy, Andrew Oporto. Welcome.
I'm an immigrant.
Are you? I thought you were. I know you're of that descent, though, for sure. You got some fucking Latin shit. I know you're booking. I knew you were of something when I kept seeing you in the audition rooms, too. I'm like, this guy is racially ambiguous, and he's killing it. He's cleaning up.
Hispanic? Could I be? I don't know. Am I Egyptian? Am I Iranian? No one knows, man.
What are you, though? You're like, we'll find out later.
My dad's from Argentina.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And your mom's like Canadian?
My mom's Irish, English.
Gotcha.
So they both immigrated here, met in Toronto. Yeah.
Fuck
and
yeah,
that's
dude.
Me, man.
Did you ever go to Argentina?
I have.
Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But
sure.
welcome. What were you? You
man.
said, I'm going to say something when we go live.
Is that how I sound, too?
No, it's not. We're trying to have fun.
How long have you been doing comedy for?
This is in December. I'm switching to the 7-year mark. 6 or 7 years now.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Like, because you were this guy who kind of showed up out of nowhere.
Seemingly, yeah. Obviously, to everyone from the outside, I knew exactly where I was. You know what I mean? I was just driving up, but yeah, kind of, I guess.
No, but even when I saw you 4 years ago, and you were funny right away. And I'm not gonna just because this is your podcast, just come in here and
you weren't saying that at all when you came in.
I was angry.
He's like, "You're not funny.
You're not funny. You don't."
Thanks for having me, though. You're not funny.
But you know what the thing is with you is that what I noticed right away is that you're funny, but you navigate the politics really well. Because comedy is 1% telling jokes, 99% navigating politics, PR, the bull crap of it all.
I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with the fraction. I think it's probably like, 40% comedy, 50% comedy. But still, a huge portion of it is that other thing, for sure. I mean, I wasn't always good at it. I was just like, I'll be funny and everything will work out for a couple of years at the beginning. And then nothing happened. It's like, I'm still at these open mics. I still can't get invited to a book show.
But you came up pretty quick, man. You did.
I started in 2016 in the States, and it took me forever I came out to Toronto at the ending of 2017 and moved to Toronto in 2018. So it's at that point, I'm like in the scene kind of like for a year, and I'm still just doing book shows here and there, but you're doing comedy almost every night. You'd want to evolve faster, but there's no shortcuts,
No, it took me 5 years before I was sort of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, were you like class clown and all that shit growing up, or you came from like a different trajectory?
I think I was, I don't know. I think I like to have fun with my friends. I think, and you might relate to that, you're from Sudan.
From Sudan.
But you were born here.
Born in Sudan.
Born in Sudan. And then you grew up in like a small town, right?
London, Ontario.
Right. So I think that's what kind of breeds humor. So my dad's Argentinian, and then you're growing up with Canadians, and you're like, something's not right.
Exactly. You see, the thing is about you got you're almost white.
Yes.
But you're not. When I look at you, I'm like, he's almost white, but he's just not. There's something fucking off,
But then I played for Academy Argentina, the soccer team.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I was pretty good. And then these guys were like, this guy's a gringo piece of...
Yeah,
they hated me.
His mom's fucking Irish, bro.
Yeah,
we can get this guy.
I wasn't accepted by the RGs. But the thing is, my dad, so Argentinians are angry people.
Yeah.
That's just how it was. So growing up, it would be like road rage. My dad would always try to get out of his car, like fucking undoing his seatbelt. My mom would be like, no, don't get out of the car. I'll fucking kill this guy. And I'm in the back.
Dad full accent?
Yeah, and I'm in the back just eating a lollipop, like something's not right here. Yeah. And then your brain starts turning in this.
No, but then you ask another guy named like Dylan, whose dad has anger management, and he's Canadian as fuck. It's like, it's an anger problem, Andrew.
Guess dads are just angry.
They're just angry. They're just, they had a plan, and now you're in the backseat fucking sucking on a lollipop that he had to pull over to pull. Oh, lollipop, fuck, okay, fuck. You know what I mean?
But then I remember too when we were growing up and there was raccoons destroying the garbage.
Okay.
And my dad, I came home one time, my dad was breaking up glass and making hamburger patties. And I was just kind of like, what are you? I was like 5
Actually,
or 6. Yeah.
that's Sebastian Maniscalco has like a bit about that.
Does he?
Yeah. Not that approach.
Okay.
But putting fucking antifreeze on bologna and leaving it out trying to kill raccoons.
So he did that, but then my neighbor, like the raccoons were gone.
Yeah.
But my neighbor who was Canadian was feeding the raccoons because that's the different vibe.
Like it's valuable life.
And my dad, it was like, don't worry, I killed them. Don't worry. And she was like, what?
They're horrified.
You murdered them? And my dad goes, we used to do that with the stray cats. What's wrong? Like that was a normal.
I was feeding Meow Meow. I haven't seen him in a while.
And he killed them all.
That's so funny. And he's just like in his head, he's like, I'm the fucking guy in the neighborhood.
helping them
he's
out.
going knocking around. Mr. Clark, just so you know, I kill every vermin. They are all dead. Where's our dog?
Dead too.
Yeah, dead also.
He's
that
dead.
was a mistake. Collateral damage.
They're all dead.
Am I doing a good accent?
Yeah, it's whatever. I'm not even doing a good accent. I exaggerate.
If you tried to nail your dad accent right now and he say, Andrew, are you coming home for dinner this week? I don't know. What would he say?
He'd be like, what are you doing, man? Are you busy on Monday? Let's go for dinner. He'd say something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What's the matter with you? He's always confused. What are you doing? Why are you calling me? I'm like, it's your birthday. He's like, what? What? The Wi-Fi's down. He always has to go. He's like, I got to go. The Wi-Fi's down.
Yeah, like, no, it's not. I'm WhatsApp calling you, dude. Like, he's like,
The printer's broken. I don't know.
That's dads, you know what I mean? It's just like, I fucking did the job, dude. Like, why are you still calling me? Well, it's your birthday. Oh, fucking... You don't have to call, you know?
They don't want to talk.
Did you go, so you used to go back like a lot or just like one time?
Not a lot. My dad hates Argentina.
Oh yeah? I love it. Okay, why does your dad hate Argentina?
Because it's gone really downhill
Yeah?
since like the 50s and 60s. And it's so corrupt. Like there was a politician in Argentina in Santa Fe. He tore down a huge steel bridge, sold the scrap metal, and then contracted his company to rebuild the bridge.
By the way, that shit's happening in Ontario all the time.
That's true. But
Like-
there it's blatantly that the people are like, well, good job. They're like,
Yeah.
way to screw the system. You know, that's how we would kind of, I think Canadians are a bit more, at least
Like, you gotta
secretive.
hide it. No.
Yeah.
The corruption can't be out and about, whereas a lot of the world it can be. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, they paid the money. I don't care.
Yeah, and they well, good for them. They screwed the system in a way. So I think going back, it's really, you know, there's always inflation, there's always problems, there's crime problems, and so my dad just,
He was like, fuck it.
yeah, he goes back. He goes, I'm happy I moved. I think I don't fucking, I don't know. I know. And then I tell him to get in touch with his old friends because I look them up on Facebook. He's like, no. He's like, I don't want to gloat because I did well in Argentina and in Canada.
He's like, I killed all of their pets. Man. They're not.
They're
I
all
killed-
dead.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
They ate the fucking burgers. Dude. They're very hungry. Well, how old were you when you went?
First time I was 5 or 6.
Okay, like, and then
Yeah.
what's the time that how old were you when you went where you got like fully the experience? You know what I mean?
I think when I was, I went back when I was 15.
Okay.
14 or 15, and that's when you went to every single cousin's house and
Yeah.
they're making you.
What's your first impression of Argentina?
It was just the people are very they're like the Italians and they're very Mediterranean.
South
They're
America.
in your face, and they're like, "What? You're skinny? Oh my god!" And they eat food, and they're very kind of. Some of them can't speak English, and
For sure.
my Spanish is horrible. So,
Yeah.
but it's just the people are definitely more passionate, emotional. That was it. They're yelling, fighting on the street was a big. You just see that
Yeah.
randomly, and you're like, "Are they fighting or are they just talking
This
normal?"
is just the best friends ever.
Yeah.
Argentina,
So,
I've never
yeah.
been, man. Like is Argentina where all the Nazis went?
Yes.
Yeah.
And where all the Jews went.
Jews too.
I think it's one of the biggest Jewish populations.
They were just letting in
outside.
everybody at that time.
And then you live next door to a Nazi and you're a Jew and you're like,
Hey,
wait a
you
second.
but you don't. You know what I mean? Man, the Führer's not here, man. I didn't even like the Führer, bro. That's so wild, though.
Yeah.
They all went there. I remember that first fucking scene of what was it, like Casino Royale or some shit. One of those, like he's in Argentina and he's at a bar and he's like talking with some ex-Nazi German guys who are like owning a farm now or some shit.
Okay, yeah.
Because, like, you know, when that shit went south as a Nazi, you gotta get fucking far away. Like, oh, no, I was in finance before.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. What? Yeah, exactly. Just like controlled genocide. No. I was in finance. I was accountant.
I fertilize. I don't fertilize business. I don't know what.
Yeah, they're just fucking like they're owning a farm. Don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just like trying to figure. Just like trying to milk cows. Like they're like, dude, that's a bull. You fucking idiot. That's his cock. You dumb fuck. Oh shit.
I don't know.
I had this farm. Cows are different here in Argentina than in Germany. I killed no one.
But just going anywhere would be a crazy trip. Imagine just people coming here like your parents, right? And just showing up and you're kind of just like, well, I guess we'll make this work.
Yeah. It's you can't even think about it for your parents because for you it was weird. But then kids have the school system allows you to like acclimate and like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone behave, being here, we're all going to learn, then you're all going to go play, right? Whereas when you're an adult, they're like, go to the workforce.
Right. Did you have friends in growing up in London? Did you have a lot of friends? Did you have a problem?
Yeah, 100%. But like, I wasn't like the most popular guy or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? I was like trying to be funny, you know, so I just wouldn't be different. Because I had like an accent and I lost the accent pretty quick, but like, you know, I clearly was from another country and shit. And when you're a kid, that is not cool, you know? Being an individual is only cool when you're older, you know?
Yes.
Like just yesterday, I was talking with my buddy and we ran into some guy named Joseph. And he goes by Jose.
Okay.
He goes by Jose. So I'm like, bro, that's a reminder how hard this life is. You know what I mean? We're clinging to any fucking individuality possible. It's not Joe or Joseph. It's Jose.
It's Jose,
It's
yeah.
a tough life, bro.
Yeah.
It's a tough life.
People are trying to.
We're trying, bro. We're just trying to. But when you're young, you don't want to. You're not gonna be like speaking like Spanish in front of your like the Canadian friends. I didn't want to speak Arabic in front of my fucking Canadian friends at all.
Right.
I'm like, then they'll know I'm different, and then if I'm different, it's gonna be bad if they find out I'm different. Like, no one actually told you this, but somehow with survival tactics, you think if I'm as much like them as possible, it'll be the best for me.
Absolutely.
Right?
I remember my dad would be doing something, fighting someone outside the house and I remember being little and just being like, can we just be normal? I remember saying that. My mom like burst out laughing. She's like, no, we can't.
No. I chose this way.
But you want
this is what I get.
You want to just fit in, right? That's like even now we have, I think, maybe it continues on as you get older too, for me at least, where it's, even in the comedy scene, you want to fit in and you have this childlike perception of things where you're just like, I want to be friends with this group and be accepted. And then as you get through the comedy, you know, I'm 10 years in now, you start to not give a crap as much because you realize people might not like you for other reasons you don't even know about.
It's not in your control by any means. They're putting their past on you somehow and you have no control of it.
Or something.
You know what I mean? A lot of the times, and I feel this in Toronto specifically, and I started in the Detroit comedy scene because I used to be an engineer in the States for 3 years. Wow. I just started in the Detroit comedy scene. It was my first couple open mics. Then I moved to San Francisco, Silicon Valley to do like that thing. And then there's when I went like every day. That's when I learned like, oh, open mics, you got to grind, blah, blah, blah. But Detroit never got accepted. San Francisco only got accepted right as I was leaving. The last couple of months, I got my first book shows and got like, finally I can in front of an audience because otherwise, you know. And then I moved to Toronto and the same bullshit happened, right? So I moved back to London, Ontario, and I would drive to Toronto like 2-3 times a week, do all the open mics and drive back. And I did that for like 6 months. Then I had enough hours with my job to get EI, so I quit the job, moved to Toronto.
Oh, wow.
And then it took a little while to be like, people are like, oh, you're here now type of thing. And it takes a while for people to fucking accept that. You know, because there's so much flux in the scene. People come, people go, that no one, especially for a new face, no one wants to learn who you are until like, you ever notice that you could see someone in the comedy scene for like years and then you see them crush one time and it's as if you've seen them for the first time. You're like, what's your name? You go up to them like, what's your name again? You know what I mean? Like you just finally saw them.
Yes, it's so true. And that's what I noticed about you is that you actually always did well. I remember seeing you in front of an audience and you did well. So I think that helped.
Makes
you.
It more memorable.
Yeah, I mean, if you're funny, you're funny.
Yeah.
Like I was in Houston recently and they're very cliquey, but I did very well because I was coming in at least with 8 years at the time.
Yeah.
And so they're just, okay, want to do my show. They're just looking for comics and there wasn't enough in the city, right?
There's so much of that in the States when I go. Like every city I go in the States, like I just like the States in general. But if I go to Nashville or New Orleans or whatever, it's always somewhat easy to find stage time. I went to Nashville during Christmas break, so everything was kind of shut, so I couldn't really get up. But like everywhere else, it's like, yo, I'm coming from out of town. Do this thing. People are so much more willing to put you up. If it's in New York or LA, it's impossible. Like, you gotta know, LA is especially tough because there's so many hungry motherfuckers there trying to get guest spots that can't. That when you go there, like, my buddy's like, oh, I'll get you on. And then I show up to LA. He goes, look, bro, it's fucking hard to get out of town. Like, you gotta be a made guy to get spots here.
Yeah, because they're all actors and
they're all
well known.
There's so much desperation of like people who move from Seattle, Wyoming, whatever the fuck, that are like trying. There's 7-year guys from their markets coming, trying to get guest spots, and they live there. They can't. I'm not gonna get it if I show up for 2 days. Like, okay, give me the spots. You're not getting shit. New York, same thing, where it's like the cream of the crop rise, and everyone else is just kind of doing the mics. But all the smaller markets, Seattle, New Orleans, fucking Austin is kind of getting big now. But all these places, man, they're just like, you're a made guy? Let's see your tape. Okay, do a guest spot on my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our comics are, I feel, better.
We're way better,
Americans.
bro. Well, dude, in LA, apparently, someone told me this a while ago, Canadians have a rep in LA, Canadian comics. Like, because we're disproportionately stronger in the sense, because it takes us a while to get good before we can get the merit level to get the visas and shit go down there. So we come in honed from that point of view, and we're the underdogs, right? We're Canadians, so we always have that kind of like chip on our shoulder, because America's like, we're number one and here's some funny stuff. Canada's like, we're trying to go down there, we'd love to, you know what I mean? That underdog thing helps your comedy, I think.
I also think that our crowds are harder than America. So we are in Toronto, we get more sensitive with topic matters, so it has to be really funny to hit. Whereas like if you're in Houston, I found that you could be like, sometimes my dick hurts, and they're like,
Yeah, exactly, right? San Francisco's the same thing.
Okay.
Where you feel like you're I don't know if you ever watched Dragon Ball Z growing up.
No.
But like that one guy, Piccolo, the guy with the Punjabi guy with the white thing on top. Yeah, the Punjabi. Yeah. They didn't want to go with brown, so they went with green. It's not racist. He's green. He's not brown.
Big ears, though.
Yeah, exactly. But his whole thing was, I'll train with a bunch of weighted clothing, and then I'll take them off before the fight, and I'm so much faster.
Oh, right.
And that's how I feel in San Francisco and Toronto the same. There's such fucking lib cuck, so much like sensitivity bullshit that when you figure it out and then go to London or St. Thomas or small town Ontario, small town Canada is just like America. Where
right.
People are... Canada, especially cities, has this thing where it's like that you constantly feel that they're assessing what they can laugh at. And like there's filters, like, ha ha ha, we're laughing at a group. Are they here right now? Like, we're doing all this math in our head to be like polite and correct and all that shit. Whereas America, they don't have that. They just laugh if it's funny and they don't laugh if it's not.
They're less sensitive.
They're less sensitive.
But I also find small towns, I've been doing a little bit of small towns, Ontario, and they are getting more sensitive because I think the white people are going, we're not racist or we're not this. So if you do, I will bring up like, say, gender stuff, race stuff, indigenous, like land acknowledgements. I have a bit about that. And they get very, ooh, let's not talk about that. I found that recently.
You know what it might be is that you look 95% white. That's the problem. You got to open with that 5%.
Yeah, true.
And then it establishes you as like ethnic. And then when you're ethnic, you can kind of get away with way more, right?
Yeah, that's why I find in Toronto, if, they're so diverse, the crowds, that I'll almost be a minority in the crowd coming up in a lot of shows.
Yeah,
and so you can talk about race and they're like, oh, it's funny.
But they're all white people looking at a seemingly white person and they're like, hey, that's not the one you do, man.
Yeah.
You got to do cottage bits and fucking
hating your wife material.
Yeah, exactly. Look, fucking hating that winter's coming, that type. That's what you do, my guy.
Yeah.
Skiing, you can ski. We love to ski. I don't want to hear the gender stuff from you.
They don't want to be on camera. Imagine someone films them. I think everyone's worried about that being filmed.
Yeah,
posted,
filmed laughing. HR gets it.
Yeah.
Do you have a job right now?
I don't.
Yeah? Were you working for a minute?
I was at a Korean restaurant.
Okay, serving. I can see you as a server.
Yeah, my buddy owns a restaurant in Koreatown.
Is he Korean?
He's
Korean. He's not? Okay.
He's white. It's all white people.
Yeah, exactly. He's white too. He's 2% Korean.
This turkey bibimbap.
Yeah. He's like, I'm 2% Samsung. It's right here in 23andMe.
No, they've had the restaurant for 40 years.
Okay.
So I know him from high school. And so when I started working, he was like getting me, and his dad would come in and yell at me, he'd be like, "Don't hire foreigners, don't," because he thought he was still in Korea.
Oh yeah,
Seriously,
Were you
yeah.
the only non-Korean there?
Only non-Korean they've ever hired in 40 years.
Really?
Because with the pandemic, they couldn't hire anybody, and I wanted to work, so I started working there.
How was that? Like serving in a fucking Korean restaurant as like whatever you are. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. Koreans work harder than anybody.
Yeah.
They don't complain. They look at me and they go, "Oh, Andrew has 2 jobs. That's so cute. Just 2 jobs." They're working all the time. We had an 80-year-old Chinese dishwasher who would sit in the back and just scrub pans, not complain, there every day. She'd just hand me candy from her pocket and like smile.
And just work like crazy.
Yeah, and just work like crazy. But Koreans are very, they're very nice, very hospitable. A Korean greeting is, "Did you eat?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you eat? They want to make sure you've eaten, because I think it stems from, tougher times. So they're very kind
Like,
of bringing
"Hi,
food.
did you eat?"
Hi, did you eat? Did you eat? And so bringing food all the time, bringing stuff all the time.
Did you learn all the basic like hello and type shit?
Yeah, 안녕하세요, 감사합니다. Yeah.
That's like hello, goodbye.
Hello, thank you, yeah, goodbye.
Please tip.
Yeah,
Tip me,
please.
please.
Yeah,
Tip on me, please. You like, what's that one?
Yeah, tongumang, which means butthole. And that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
When do you use that one in the dining experience?
I call my boss tongumang.
Yeah, tangumang. They're like, wow, this guaylo no shit, but that's Mandarin,
It's
I think.
Chinese, it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
good. Yeah, but it's good. It's Toronto, man. Like it's diverse, and it was a cool experience for me, at least, to do that.
Did you always serve?
I've done every job.
Yeah.
I've served. I was delivery driver for food. I did an Uber. I've done construction. I was in advertising for 6 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm thinking, I know you've done some corporate thing.
That
You've got
was
that
it.
vibe where I was like, I could see you in an office surviving. Not saying like being like living your best life, but I could see, your posture's good. You got a collared shirt. I could see it,
I don't have mental
Stubble.
health, noticeable mental
Yeah, exactly.
health.
You seem like you'd be fucking know how to use a fork. You could, dude, you'd kill it in an office.
I was doing well in the office. Yeah, advertising was good. Not because I was particularly smart or organized, but I think because I was just nice to clients and they appreciated that.
And you got that comment. Anybody who's like, because it comes down to communication skills. Actually, I forget who. I think Jordan Peterson said this too, which is funny. Take it with a grain of salt. But he was talking about how like a lot of the richest, wealthy people he knows, they put their children in communications undergrads. Like that's what they push their kids into. Because they're like, if you cannot communicate first and foremost, like they're prepping them for a life impossible. Politics, law, fucking all of the elite things of a society. They're like, we're going to start you off with communication.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm like, oh shit. I used to always be like, oh, if you'll do doctor, because I'm an immigrant. So it's like doctor or engineer, right? Whereas like the rich whites are like, you're going to do 4 years of communication. And then after that, we'll see what we can do. Like,
And public speaking
and public,
courses.
we're going to nail your ability to lead the lesser whites. And then we'll figure out which niche you're going down, right?
Absolutely. And playing sports, I think all that stuff helps with
Be well-rounded,
socializing.
all that stuff. And I think being in comedy, just having that ability to just deal with clients and shit, you fucking excel in these corporate jobs. That's why a lot of us that left the corporate jobs is not because we got fired. It's because we just got fed up with it,
Yeah, I was depressed there for sure.
Me too. Like I
were
did that
depressed
for
then,
years. I was depressed. And I would do comedy at night and I'd hate my job and just be looking forward to my open mic at night and shit like that. But that's a shitty life, man. I mean, for me, I was working with people that showed up every day obsessed with what they were doing. And I'm like, see, these jobs aren't objectively shitty. You know what I mean? It's just not for us.
Well, I remember even guys in their 40s when I was working be like, "Get out now, bro." I broke up with my girlfriend. They were like, "Good, be single. Don't stay here."
Did you move from somewhere else to Toronto?
I grew up here.
Grew up here.
Yeah. I grew up here, and in high school I went to a private school.
Yeah?
Yeah, my dad borrowed hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Is that how much it costs for fucking high school private
It
school?
costs a lot, man. Now it's crazy.
Yeah?
But back at that time, it was probably like $12,000 a year.
Wait, why did they want to put you in private school? Did they just feel? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister. Well, my
Older,
dad
younger?
wanted to be white coming here, so his name was Ricardo Julio Oporto.
Yeah.
He changed his name to Ricardo Harris.
Oh,
when he
yeah.
came.
Okay, yeah.
Then he got a book of English names.
Yeah.
Got to A, and he named me Andrew. My sister Alexandra.
Yeah.
He lived amongst the whites.
Yeah,
He was like, I'm not ghettoizing myself, man. I'm not fucking...
He's like, I saw what happened to Argentina, man.
Yeah. And also Argentinians have a sort of, they want to be they're hierarchical. Like he's from a town called Temperley, which is a British name.
Yeah, I got it. And South America's got that it's got a lot of that, and Argentinians are among the lighter complexion.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of that. They're like, we're very close.
Yeah, they think they're Europeans, and
Yeah.
they're snobby a bit too, right?
And angry.
And so, yeah, he put me through school,
Yeah.
and then he's still in debt from that.
Till this day.
Till this day.
That's fucking wild.
And I'm not even in...
Yeah, and you're doing jokes at night, dude.
He's like, he was going, I spent all this fucking money on this guy. He thinks he's funny. Oh my God. Well, he's always upset about it.
This debt is not funny, Andrew. It's not funny.
Yeah, so that was it, man. And so you kind of grow up.
What was private school like? Were you like there with all the super well-to-do kids that are like, we're summering in the Hamptons this year? What about you, Andrew?
Well, it was a downtown school.
Yeah.
Yeah, downtown. It was Royal St. George's College. It was called. It was like Bathurst and Bloor, and it wasn't.
Goddamn, it was Bathurst and Bloor.
Bathurst and Bloor.
I'm picturing fucking like you're like in Kingston in a 40-acre, perfectly like the green of a fucking golf course.
Fetch me my polo horse.
Exactly, and like and slavery looking mansions. You know what I mean? That's colonial. When I think private school or a lot of brick. You were just literally in Bloor and Bathurst?
Yeah, some of the kids were pretty like upper class, but I would say there was a decent mix of scholarships and people who weren't.
It wasn't you weren't among royalty.
Not among royalty. There were some very wealthy kids,
yeah.
And my friends, my good friends who I'm still friends with, some of them are wealthy, but they're pretty down to earth guys. And I don't know if you ever watched like Monty Python growing up.
Yeah, not growing up. I watched it like later in life.
But that was their sensibility. They were these kind of going to these private schools and ripping on that hierarchical society. And I think when I think of high school, it was a small school. All we did was joke around. That's all we did all the time. It was a guy's school. We joked around all the time. And there was no drama, really.
Did any of the guys diddle each other? When you go all guys school, somebody's on to... It's like prison, right? So there has to be like the prison bitch. There's the one guy's like, what do you have today, fellas?
The one kid just wearing a dress and a wig.
Yeah, he didn't come in like that. He's just trying to survive. You got to do crazy things to survive at Royal College or whatever the fuck it's called.
No, it wasn't any of that weird stuff. No.
Do you look back at it like, oh, private school is fun, or do you wish you went to like public school?
It was good.
All the public school kids you knew were like stab wounds and shit. They're like, man, be happy, Andrew, man. It's fucked up, bro. We just had another shooting.
There were like like Central Tech wasn't a great school. It was right near us. And so we'd see them, we get robbed by them. And that was the vibe. And then they were like, don't wear uniforms home so you don't get robbed all the time. You know?
They're like, flip your hat backwards.
Yeah, we're like,
but they had all the mass shootings, right? You've never heard of a mass shooting in a private school, right? You know what I mean?
At a public or private?
Not private. I've never heard of a mass shooting in a private school.
True.
Dante, can you Google that? Has there been ever a mass shooting in a private school? Because that next PTA meeting was rough. They're like, what the fuck? 12 grand a year.
Yeah.
A kid in private school shoot. How many private schools or charter school shootings have there been? Virtually none. I'm no expert on the matter, but looking at school shootings as a whole, the physical security of the school absolutely is a big factor where the school belongs, blah, blah, blah. So pretty much no, like none. Yeah, that makes sense, bro. That's kind of what you're paying for, right?
You're paying to get into university.
Yeah, because if you come from that school, you're pretty much everyone goes to university.
Everyone goes to school. Yeah, so you're guaranteed that. And
did you do like a marketing undergrad?
I did. I went to McGill. I got like an economics degree, like an arts degree, economics, history, that sort of thing.
How did you like spending 4 years in Montreal? I just fucking came back from I've been in Montreal 100. I don't know how I feel about Montreal anymore. I used to be like, man, Montreal's sick, young drinking age, gentlemen's clubs, fucking we get tabbouleh at night and smoke hookah. Yeah.
Why you have that accent?
I don't know. It's Lebanese,
Lebanese
and French. You know what I mean? But like,
we love a shawarma.
But now it's like every time I go up, the parking is even more fucking difficult to find. Like nowhere can you park during the day. It's all like without this thing, no parking from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
It's like here, you can't park anywhere. But
here you can't park at night. There it's the opposite. You can't park during the day. Right. At night everybody's good. Park where you want to park. But during the day, is way worse. You know, at night, I'll figure it out. But during the days where I need to figure out where to put the fucking car.
Right. Montreal's sick. I was in a bubble. You're in an English bubble at McGill, so you live near the school.
Yeah.
And you're going to school in English. You're not experiencing it. I think Montrealers hated us because they knew we were the English kids. Like, we would wear our Leafs jerseys to the bars and like fight Montreal people.
Yeah, in Canadians jerseys.
Yeah. And so going back, I've had a new appreciation for it because I think now people are getting more relaxed about the English-French feud in a way that the younger generation doesn't care. And it's got a lot of cultural stuff. It's a fun vibe. It's more European.
It is a fun vibe. Yeah. Way more.
But you can't live and work there.
But it's so much more affordable to live there.
That's true.
Living, I can see living there, but I don't know about the opportunities to work. Like,
you got to speak French.
Yeah.
Do you speak French?
I don't speak French.
Neither do I.
I don't even know what the fuck Lundi is, bro. I'm
Monday.
looking at these street signs. Yeah, see, every time I thought I paid attention in goddamn French class growing up, and I hit Montreal, and it always smacks me in the face like, you don't know shit.
It was
How
a
do
waste.
I not know Lundi?
It was a waste. The French classes were useless.
Years.
Because you're learning like window, pen. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it should just be. And I remember I had grade 9, I had a fucking teacher that would just speak to us in French. When the gap of what we learned, it's like, she's like, if I speak in French all the time, they will have to learn French. You're like, I just never understood you for the whole semester. Ever. I just learned how to say, how do I go to the bathroom? Because she'd be like, en français. Right? That's good, blah, blah, blah.
Est-ce que je peux aller à la toilette?
La toilette, yeah, exactly.
The same
Je ne
thing.
parle pas français. She's like, you're fucked.
Our teacher would be like, close your doors and open your windows.
You're like,
Oh, God.
now it makes sense why you're divorced.
Tele français. He'd play that a lot.
En français, you're like, je la divorce.
Yeah, it's a weird English-French thing. People from outside, they go, do you speak French? If they're from Europe, you're like, no, it does not like that.
Like, okay, good. Yeah. Even in fucking France, the French are snooty as shit, especially Parisians. They're all known for it. Before I went to Paris, they're like, watch out for Parisians, man. They're fucking assholes.
And were they?
I actually had a great experience in Paris.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for it. You know, when you're ready for it, I'm ready for them to be like, I do not care. Like, everyone was nice when the stakes were low, and people were like shitty when the stakes were like, when we're trying to go somewhere and we're at the information booth in a subway. Those were the worst people. And it's like, you're the one that's supposed to be decent. You're being paid for customer service. And they're like, no, you, the wrong one. And it's like, okay, which is the right one? It's like, literally we'll like look away and like, holy fuck, you suck.
Yeah.
How do you have this job?
It's a government job. They won't get fired.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's the same story everywhere in the world, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. But they also hate the Quebecers. They laugh
because they're
at
of a
them.
lesser.
They laugh at their accent. And you know, Quebec was given to the English by the French. There was a war. This is like in the 1700s.
Really?
And
isn't
then,
that before
and then French
Canada
were like,
got discovered, though?
No, it was we were.
The French came first.
French
did
came
they?
first?
The French came first and took Quebec, or what?
Yeah.
And left everything else?
No, so
Oh, that's why New Brunswick, they speak French, right?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it was Quebec, and then the English came, and then the French would find the English.
Oh.
Dante knows.
The French were like,
So then
they gave them Quebec and like a statue as well.
And a statue. Oh, shit, they hooked them up. They gave fucking New York the Statue of Liberty, right? They love gifting statues, huh?
Yeah.
That's their whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then the Brits took it. And then at one point did Quebec be like, oh, is that why Quebec is all like, we want to be our own thing?
Yeah,
Because they got this weird backstory.
Yeah, they're from France.
Oh, but it's funny how the real French hate them.
Yeah.
We want to be like you. They're like, you cannot be like us.
No.
It's like going to fucking England as an Alabama guy and then be like, your accent is like it's like, fuck off.
That's
you know?
exactly what it's like, actually. If someone comes from Mississippi and I remember being in England working there, and this guy, they're like, your accent's so weird, man.
To you.
No, to this guy from Mississippi who was like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing over here?
What's going on out here, man? Y'all.
The Queen.
So y'all invented the language, huh? God damn, huh? How was England, dude? You've been all over the place. We're slowly unearthing the backstory.
Yeah. I lived in London just bartending because my mom's English, so I have a British passport.
Oh, sick.
Lived in London, lived in Barcelona.
Yeah.
bartending and I was teaching English there, and I was finding myself.
Yeah, that's the white girl's path
Eat,
right there.
pray, love.
How was it? Did you prefer England or Barcelona? I'm assuming
Barcelona, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barcelona's the beach there, the weather, the people are.
London's gray as fuck and bad teeth, and
The British are just more uptight, man.
Yeah.
They're like the Canadians. They're less accepting.
yeah. Oh yeah.
They're like, have their groups. You don't get in the mix. You're not, you know.
You're not English.
You're not English.
Sorry, Andrew. You're fun.
You're fun.
Be it though, you are a blast. wait. I thought, why is your name not Andrew Harris if your dad switched it?
I went back to Oporto to be diverse.
Oh, I was gonna say to book these fucking commercials, bro.
100%, man.
So it was Andrew Harris for years.
Andrew Harris for years. And still, that's my government name, Andrew Harris.
So,
Yeah.
but stage name Andrew Oporto,
Andrew
and like
Oporto.
when you do commercials, Andrew.
I'm Andrew Oporto.
There you go,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
When I'm booking festivals,
Oporto, goddamn,
Yeah,
bro, you
yeah.
get that Harris far away.
when I'm crossing the border,
Harris.
yeah.
This is what it's all about. This is what the immigrant section's all about.
Yeah, to be diverse. I don't care because I switched like 3 years into comedy. So people were like,
And
"Yo,
then you got staged.
no," they were like, "Screw this guy." A lot of people were like, "Screw you. You're a Porto now."
Oh yeah.
And I just kind of went with it at the corner too, like.
And then
Ryan
now it's
and-
like years later, and they're like, yeah, Oporto.
now they're just like whatever.
Whatever, I
Who
don't
cares?
give a
People
fuck.
who hated me for sketches I made from a while ago, and
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, with stuff with live dudes like those vegan protests. Everyone who hates me in comedy already hated me because of that stuff. And
Oh.
I think so, but that's me maybe just perception that's completely inaccurate.
I remember Live Dudes. That was with what's his name?
Cam.
Cam. Yeah,
Tyler,
man. Is
yeah.
he in? Does he do improv now?
He's not doing so much. He still shoots some videos, but
Yeah.
he's got a real job.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think the whole making money was attractive to him.
Yeah. See, that's the key. You got to make money to make it in this game. You gotta. It's tough. I'm just happy I made money first.
Okay.
Because I made money first, and I was like, I hate every day. So, and the money didn't fix it. It fixed it for a year and a half. I was having a blast, vacationing nonstop, sick car, sick place, and then it's like, oh, okay. After a year and a half, you can't help but shake the fact. Like for a year, I was like, oh, this sucks, but I'm going to Switzerland next week for like 10 days, and then I'm going to like Cancun a month after that. And then I'm going to like, that's why people vacation so hard, just so you can have that escapism. Because what you're doing most of your time is something you do not care about, you do not like. And then after a year and a half, it was like, even if I had a vacation coming up, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go in. I don't want to do this call. I don't want to meet these fucking people. Fuck.
Yeah, people say the benefit of starting late is so you gain experience. That's not true. The benefit of starting later on and having a job first is to know what you left and appreciate the fact that you did corporate and you hate it. So now I know I'd never go back. But I think with Cam, I'm speaking for him, what the hell do I know, is that he didn't have the corporate job. So I remember him thinking like, man, maybe I should get a job, and that he never had. So I can see a lot of comics who start when they're 20. Some of them just leave and do corporate because they go, or they test the waters again because they don't want to be poor.
Yeah, as compared to the grind of basic level or low level comedy, even like for almost your first 10 years, it's like you can just fucking pivot over to a position, accept 40 hours a week and maybe a great salary, you know what I mean? And if that's what you like, that's what you like. But I just found it like a fucking prison, like golden handcuffs, all that shit. I just couldn't stand it anymore, man.
You need purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You really do. And you can't get purpose when you work for a company that every 2 weeks they shift their mandate. And they go, okay, all right, guys, so actually your reason for coming in has changed now. How you spend 40 hours of your life every week. And keep in mind, you spend 40, you should sleeping. So you only got another 40 for yourself, right?
Right.
Has totally changed. So this 40, we decide and will drive everything. So don't just do what we say, and hopefully we'll end up in a prosperous place and you guys get bonuses. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and it's just like, okay.
I remember there was a merger at my company. So they merged, and then the guy's like, the CEO comes out, he goes, well, it's going to be an exciting opportunity for everybody. Don't worry, your jobs are fine.
Half of
and
them
this
got
is
it.
that.
Yeah.
And then all the old timers were like, he's lying.
Yeah,
He's
we're
bullshit. And I go, no, he just said we're all safe. He said it to us all. And then obviously like 3 months later, half the thing gets fired. But I go, oh, that's business, eh? Cold-blooded. They don't care.
Oh, yeah. Startups is the worst, though. Startups is like that to a different level. Like I work for one in San Francisco where it's like literally we had a fucking, they would call them town councils, all hands on deck meetings. and and this guy was actually a good guy, but you're running a business, so you have to lie. It's like a parent. Like if you're going to the Holocaust with your 3 kids, if you're going to Auschwitz, you're going to be like, okay, it's going to be a rough time, but we're going to get through this. You know what I mean? Even though like you're fucked, right?
Like Life is Beautiful, the movie.
Exactly, yeah. So this guy would be like, guys, we have a great team here. We have one of the best teams together. We're anything, blah, blah, blah. 1 week later, everyone got fired. Like it dissolved. Like they went bankrupt because they were paying like $10 million a month in startups. A lot of these startups, their biggest expense by far is just human resources, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone has 6-figure salaries. And if they don't make it to market in time, we can't afford, let's say we have $100 million and it takes 3 years to fucking develop this thing. If I'm paying out $10 million a month in salaries, then that's not going to work. We have 10-month runway before we need more money, right? So he was literally like, okay, we great. Everyone was gone within I think maybe a core team of 4 from 30 stayed or something because they pivoted to something else completely.
Yeah.
But so funny how it dissolved like this. It'd be like the Titanic broken in half, sinking. Like, we got a great crew, everybody here, love working with you, the vibes are great, we'll do anything, as you're just fucking sinking.
You're like, we're sinking, everyone's dying.
No. This is just the ebbs and flows of the market, everybody. Before we know it, we'll reattach and be on our way home to land.
But a startup, you get that, I think, from a startup, because you expect it to fail and 50-50 kind of thing. But I mean, big businesses, I was in this advertising agency, was doing decently well. But even, I think that's why it'll hurt my ability to be successful, because I think I'm so honest to a fault. If I was CEO, I would say, we merged, we might have to make some cuts.
Yeah.
I think I would say that, because I wouldn't go ahead of a team and lie. Because then you lose your credibility to everybody.
I know. That's why they got to do that. Then it becomes verbal wordplay, and it becomes like fucking linguistic ballet of like, I got to tell you guys that tough times may come, but I'm not going to say... Because if I give that impression, then anybody smart is updating their resume, and they're halfway out already. Yeah. Even though your job wasn't like threatened. I'm assuming it might be, because it sounds like we're all fucked right now. So I'm going to be trying to get the hell off ship ASAP, even though maybe all the like engine workers are doomed.
Yeah.
The top of, the people like on deck think, oh, I'm fucked too. I got to jump ship. And then before you know it, before you even fired, now you got to hire those people that you weren't even planning on firing because you gave them the impression that they're done, right?
True.
So it's a tricky thing. I get it. You got to make business, but...
But if someone wanted to leave, I would say, too, this is why I'm not in that position. I would say, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, you can leave if you want. And then if everyone left, it would be just me, and I'd be like, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, we were failing already. Now might as well just go through with the fucking failure fully. Realize the failure.
Yeah, that's the problem with capitalism. Not that I'm a communist or anything.
Yeah. You communist, bro? Not that I'm a communist or anything like that. His eyes just got shifty as fuck right there.
But it's the relentless pursuit of profit.
Yeah.
That will destroy. One of the reasons, not only it complicates life and leads to misery, because you're always looking for what's more and you're never content, but it also, I think, will destroy business in a way and destroy our system. Like, look at our inflation now. I guess it's not true capitalism, but it's like, look what's going on with inflation. They're printing money like crazy. They're trying to bail out these things. And now what? It's like $8-9 for toothpaste and something. I go, what the hell?
It doesn't make any sense. Paper towel prices, I was saying this, are just like, they're not even tied to reality anymore. I don't even know. One day they're like $5.99, how they used to be, and the next day they have them like stacked up like it's a big sale, and they're $11.99. It's like the same ones.
Yeah.
And they got it like $11.99, like it's get them now. You're like, it was $5.99 last week.
So true.
What the fuck?
Gas is $1.50. We're like, well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're fucking. I know gas is never going back. Is never going back.
Yeah.
They're like, demand, supply issues. They're accustomed to the new price points. Oh, okay. Well, then we'll go down 6 cents and get them happy. It's like, it's never going back to $1.20. I'm diesel, bro. I'm paying $2 a liter. It's fuck.
Oh,
you put in 60, they're like, and then right under it says 30.1 liters. You're like,
my God.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
But then you look around and people are building all these huge houses, and you go, someone's making money here. It's not me.
I know. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. It's the disconnect between like wages and property values and everything. I have no idea what's going on. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
I know regular people who bought during the peak of the fucking real estate shit. Regular people with like regular jobs buying homes for like 1.2 million. I'm talking like single garage family home, 2,400 square feet, like regular family home where you'd have, you know, a family, 2 kids type shit. Now you just put $1.2 million on that shit. You're like, that's like a fucking $3,000 to $4,000 monthly mortgage. Like, you can never leave your job at this point.
No.
You have to get hired before you can leave. Like, that's a problem when people take on like this crazy amount of debt. You force yourself to be like, to have to play ball with these corporations because they give you the package deal, you know? They're like, I'll give you an amount that out of that, your mortgage will come, your car will come, your vacation will come, but play ball because if you don't, you're going to have to find another fucking nest egg for everything is tied to it. That's why this life is so sick. Freelance, little comedy stuff, little acting. If any one thing does not feel good to do, I can just lose it. Because it's like maximum it'll represent, you know, 10% of whatever the fuck, right?
It's true. Yeah, because even in Ottawa, it's all government workers. And in the crowd, they're so scared to laugh because of this reason you're saying. And they have these golden handcuffs. They don't want to ruffle the feathers. They want to update their email signature with their pronouns. They'll do it. They don't think. And it's just like, well, they're contributing to their own downfall, but they're doing it complicitly because they don't want to.
Because they're content.
Rattle anything.
Yeah, exactly. They're complacent. And I get it. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, I mean, it's like, imagine having a mortgage, a car payment, 2 cars, a mortgage, you're paying off your cottage. You've got like a line of credit you're paying into and 2 credit cards you're paying into. That's like 7 debts. You can't fucking be like, you know what? I've always wanted to do carpentry. I'm going to go do a carpentry class. The most driven people may do that at night and then slowly start it while working their job. And then over the course of 5 to 10 years, transition into something they love while like lowering their cost of living and everything like that, right? Yeah. That's the most, but most people will not. They'll be like, well, how would that thing pay all these 7 of these things? It's not. So I'm just going to fucking keep doing. If anything, I need to find a job that pays me more. That's the solution here. I need a higher hourly rate or I need a higher salary. So I'm just going to sniff out whatever sector, whatever industry, whatever fucking role is needed to get that 20 to 40% pay raise, you know? What are you? Oh, you're working in poultry farms? Yeah, I do fucking, you know what I mean? Operations management for the money is good. I don't give a fuck about poultry. I don't give a fuck about this thing. You're just chasing the money. And that's like, people get sad and jaded as shit because you just keep smelling it out, dude.
I think a lot of the time they're miserable because they've complicated their life so much. If you go to Cuba, and I know the Cubans are leaving Cuba, but they are happier than they are here.
Oh, well, yeah, man. I know this stuff. In Sudan, in the villages, everyone is happier. Yeah. Without a doubt, they're happier. And they're broke. They all have engineering degrees and they're all unemployed because the whole country is like, the whole lore of the country is become engineer and they've got way more engineers than they know what the fuck to do with. Yeah. So everyone's just got an engineering degree and they're just kind of unemployed. They teach a little class nearby once a week, physics class or something over here or something. But they're just fucking chilling on beds in the courtyard and it's like there's no property tax. The cost of living is just the cost of food because your family built this house 3 generations ago. And it's just like looking at the stars at night. Life is way better. It really is. Like the level of contentness and like appreciation for life is so much higher than here. When you meet someone who's making 250 and they're trying to like invest their thing and I've got my portfolio and I'm getting into options and I'm this.
And the hedge is too long. Why is the hedge so long on the neighbors? Let's fight the neighbors.
Exactly.
The hedge is long.
Yeah, that's gonna lower our property value. That's not a good look, you know, like all that type of shit. Then everyone's so anxiety ridden and fucking depressed and money is not the thing at all. Money up until a point. Obviously, those fucking stats say, 70, 80 grand, and after that doesn't make a difference. Yeah. And hell, it might. Like, I've got some money issues right now that I would love to just get an injection of fucking income and just solve them. But I know through experience that the other side of that is it's not happiness on the other side of that. You know?
My buddy told me, I think he's accurate when he says this, happiness is content, satisfied, hopeful. So content with your material possessions. Yeah, you could always want more, but you're happy right now. Then satisfied with your relationships, friendships, your emotional situation that your boss, if he yells at you, you don't care. and then hopeful for the future. So hopeful is whether you believe in the universe will provide, in God, or just have a positive outlook. Those are the three factors. And if you don't have one of those, you won't be happy. So if you look at a guy, my buddy was in Zanzibar, and he goes, they have all those qualities. His house burnt down. And he goes, what the guy's laughing and joking. And he goes, how are you happy? He goes, God will provide. It's okay. These things I have food. My neighbors will always take me in. And that's the life. That's what they believe. And here they don't. And my Arab buddy was saying they don't have the homelessness that they have here, where people, I think it's a bit of it, they're complicating their lives so much that they just snap. You'll see homeless guys downtown being like, the taxes and money. And they'll be yelling money.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a way,
you can tell when their mind broke.
But he said he's in Lebanon, but he's lived all over like the Middle East. He was saying Arab culture, if you lose everything, you would never kill yourself over money. You would, just go
literally go to the
neighbor.
mosque. You would get fed, and you would continue living. It's just this crazy capitalist side of the world that we know the salary of every pro athlete. We know how much Tom Cruise makes on Top Gun. We love. What's the most searched thing? Forbes net worth. Put in whoever the fuck. 10 years from now, Andrew Oporto, net worth, right? Don't we love searching that shit? Because then we judge them relative to that. Because the whole score system, for the most part, on this end of the world is just purely money, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I have a lot of friends also growing up in private school. They're doing very well financially. They have a lot of money, doing well, but they aren't. Like I realized that with my situation, as soon as I was content and satisfied with my situation, I could want more, but I'm happy. So you do run into those people who you see they're wealthy and you go, something's not clicked, because they never are content with their situation.
There's two ways I've seen. I've seen wealthy where it's like they were kind of raised in this, their parents weren't born wealthy, built wealth. So now they want to build wealth.
Yeah.
So they're aware of that. But I know people who the wealth, you can trace it back far. So you're disconnected from where the money started. And those people are all about like, 10-day silent retreats, camping, and communication and therapy. They're all like, they haven't had money as an issue in their whole life. So they're so like geared towards personal development. And it's like, whereas a lot of us, it's like, yo, fuck, rent's due in the week. I don't have the money. Shit, I got to borrow it from someone. I need a fucking random gig. Yo, that guy's like looking for a random like laborer for a day. Fuck it, I'll do it. I need you know what I mean? These are, and then you're like, I paid it this time. Fuck, but what about next month? It's constantly on the forefront of your mind. So you're never like, fuck, I was touched as a kid. You never like unpack whatever the fuck it is. That you never like go in and try to like evolve yourself to be a better human for the world. No, you're fucking surviving, man. You're surviving.
But sometimes those old money people who have generational wealth, you see these younger and they're all cokeheads. Oh, and they're going to Miami and they're miserable. You can see they're miserable.
Dude, almost every one of my this is not everyone, but so many rich families I know, they have one deceased son from coke overdose or drug overdose. Because a lot of that's like new money usually. Because new money, you're at the office a lot. You're running your business. Old money is like, we don't even know. We all have 100 acres through. It's old money. Like, we're not like, I'm running the business. It's fucking old money. It's all being managed. The estate is being managed on multiple levels. But new money is like, both your parents are lawyers. Your dad's a doctor. He's on call. He's gone. Mom's gone running the business. That's new money, right?
Right.
So now nanny's taking care of you. You have minimal connection with your parents. You have disposable income because you have a good allowance. You're around other rich kids. You get coke early.
Yeah.
You'll fucking overdose. I've seen it so many fucking times, dude. Coke overdoses of kids, 17 to 20-year-old. Rich family.
Yeah.
Seen that so many times. You seen that, Dante?
One of my boys.
One of your boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace to them. Same story?
Well, I wouldn't say he was like well off, but it's just right there. You know what I mean? And he was like going around partying and all that stuff. So it's like you never know what's in these drugs that people are just passing on. So it
was a fentanyl thing recently? Yeah.
Yeah, a while back, like around 17 to 20, like you're saying, like around.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen it so many times. Because there's a disconnect, the maids, this and that. Like, I forget where we walk the park somewhere, walk the dog somewhere. That's just like every baby in a carriage has like a Filipino like person pushing it. It's like a richer area, and it's like that kid is exposed, has a much higher level of having this fate.
Yes.
Than a kid whose mom's like fucking holding 2 kids and struggling. That struggle, in a weird way, it's life. You know what I mean? That struggle actually could create a deeper bond, and it could create a better life for you. It really could. I used to be like, growing up until I was like 20 something. I'm like, you cannot convince me that growing up, you know, with less money is better. Fuck you for even trying. You're just broke and trying to make it sound good, right? But then as you get older, you realize like, yo, once you get money and you realize it doesn't do shit for you, and once you see people in the midst of money, it's like their nanny's just taking them to fucking ballet and then soccer, and then they FaceTime with their mom. It's like, it's just a weird, disconnected.
Yeah. And if you had parents that were around and loved you, or you lived in a family where your grandma lived in the house and took care of you, or your aunts were there, you're more psychologically normal.
There, yeah, you have a bond. You have this bond where it's like you just weren't getting touched enough by your actual parents. You know,
yeah.
Like a lot of these people, where it's like they have like I dated a girl one time who had a way better connection. She grew up. Her dad had like a big farm or 2 farms, so she came from like agriculture money. And it's so funny. She lived at a horse barn, and her dad built an apartment for her over the horse barn. And she'd just be constantly talking shit about him and stuff like that. I'm like, she's like, yeah, but fucking this. I'm like, he made this just for you? Because she's like, I'm coming home for the thing, but I'm not living at home. And like, it's just such like white girl thing. But like her bond with her nanny that raised her was way stronger than her mom's bond.
Really?
She would be so afraid when she was sick, and she would go see her and it was like her mom was like more of like this like HR manager she grew up with or something like that. Like, it was weird. She was so close with her nanny because she got raised by her nanny pretty much.
She resents her
and
parents.
And resents her dad like crazy. She has like a whatever relationship with her mom. But I'm like, your dad built this fucking thing. You're talking shit, and don't you see? Like, this is a nice apartment. There's literally horses under us right now. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say your life's good, but like, how do you keep talking shit? Like,
but if it's also the dad's fault if he never said no, because then he's spoiling her, and then no matter what he gives her, she's not going to respect him in a way.
There you go. You know, it's layered. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is I don't know. I wasn't there during the childhood.
I think you're right. There is a lot of that. There is like, if you have a strong bond with your parents, it doesn't matter if you were a millionaire or not, you're going to be close with them.
Yeah, but then the new money is tougher to have that bond because they're, like I was saying, they're all
around,
actively making the money with their time.
Yeah.
Old money is like, it's money. There's just money.
Yeah. And then what you're saying too with this, you mentioned at the very beginning of the podcast, everyone's looking for their thing. I'm Joseph, or what's that guy who said he was
Jose.
Yeah. But everyone, I think too, is this victim mentality nowadays, where a girl will go see a therapist and they'll say, yeah, your parents were crap to you. And even if they were crap to them, the job of a therapist is to say, well, at least respect and love them. You don't have to always agree with what they did. But now we have a whole generation of these spoiled, maybe there's a disconnect with their parents, who now hate their parents because they're going to therapy and they're saying, yeah, they were scum.
You're a victim.
You are a victim. And lean on that victimhood. And it doesn't matter the color of your skin or your background, but it's like everyone wants their thing.
We're just making weaker people. People are just getting, as times go on, especially on this side of the world, and we're going to get this whole, like, I don't want to say culture, but this whole empire of like the kind of America and the Western civilization. We can't win in the long run, bro. In the fucking other side of the world, they're just still strong, old family ties. Work hard. Don't fucking complain. Here it's like, hey, I've been here 3 hours. Aren't I legally required for a 15-minute break right now? You know what I mean? Like, you didn't hear that in the Korean place one time.
Never.
One time. This is why you go to China, they build shit so fast. And then, like, they're doing construction down the road here where they block the road off and there's zero work happening Saturday and Sunday. Can you believe that, bro? There is zero work happening Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
They're like, all the guys are just fake. Put in another crew. What the fuck is going on here?
Get it done.
Get it done. Get it fucking done.
Yeah.
This is what pisses me off about like Canada. Just the pace of everything is so slow. It's also unionized and slow. And just make sure everyone is employed. Just make sure to just do we have a person there providing water? Like, it's just like,
dude, go to South America, Portugal. Nothing's getting done.
Well, there it's a different problem though, right?
Yeah.
There it's like corruption. on both ends, there's problems, but in China, I like how fucking it gets done. Where they're like, we're authoritarian, even though we're kind of like democracy a little bit. But when shit needs to get done, it gets done at speeds that are impossible on this side of the world. And that's why I'm like, we can't win in the long run. I'll probably be dead, but.
Well, what do you think of China? Because everyone's saying these like horrible things
I worked in
about
China, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When I was in San Francisco launching that product, we launched it at Suzhou, China. I'd go there for 3 weeks at a time, like fucking leading a team. And bro, you can't compete, man. Like you need 100 people for your manufacturing line. We will get them in like 12 hours. We will get you 100 people. They all come from the farmlands. They just got unlimited human resources. And the pace of work is it does not compare. It just does not. There's not the same level of safety and all that stuff. And obviously, from their point of view, from a worker's point of view, I'd rather be in Canada there. From a business owner, from a higher up point of view of actually evolving the country, you can't compete with their pace, man. You just cannot compete with it.
Yeah, they pulled like 200 million people out of poverty. I think no one realizes that. Maybe even more than that, but massive, massive numbers of people just from...
Just the way they execute things, the way they'll go to a city of 40 million and test everyone in 48 hours. They'll fucking go make 8 giant tents, set up a line system, give everyone 40 million cartridges, and just like everything is done. Here it's like fucking everything is so disjointed, and every government worker has that government mentality. There it's different. Like the government mentality is like, yo, you're fucked if you don't do as we say at the speed. Where here is like, I can't be fired. It's actually 4:15 right now. We're done at 5, so I'm not taking any new thing on right now. It's actually 3 o'clock, so.
And let's have a meeting about microaggressions because it's a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is really happening. Everyone is employed with benefits, but nothing is happening. And that system is just like, it's going to fail. Dude.
It can't go.
Yeah, it can't.
That's crazy.
Speaking of failing, no, imagine I have no transition for that. But we're at the hour mark. I always end the episode with 3 questions.
Okay, yeah,
All
go
right?
ahead, man.
Did you get beat?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You know, I asked my dad when I got older why he hit us. Did you ever do that? Did you get hit?
Yeah, but that like the reason was implied. I got caught stealing. I got beat. You know what I mean? Dad, why did you beat me when those Toys R Us managers drove me home after I got caught stealing? You know, there's no need to ask. But what did your dad say?
Well, like, I remember getting beat, like, hit for weird stuff. Like, he'd come home and just be like, yo, fucking...
Like, he's bringing his day out on you.
In a way. Or, like, I don't know, I got into something with my sister, and then I would get it for that. But I remember I had this, like... I have a really good, like, therapist. I think that helped me become... I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
But as I get older, my therapist goes, ask your dad why he hit you.
Yeah.
And because he says you can get over these things by just talking with them.
Yeah.
And I was at a bar with my dad and he wanted to get a beer. I said, just wait for the beer for a second. I want to talk to you. He goes, oh, fuck, you want to talk to me? Oh, I don't want to fucking talk. And I go, why'd you hit us when we were little? And he goes, well, Argentina, we hit everybody. But he says, also, I think I was so depressed because I had no money and I was waking up sweating in the night and I had just lost this business, so I think I was suicidal. And he goes,
can I get a lager, please?
Give me a goose honkers ale.
Yeah, I got a goose head IPA, thank you. Yeah, no, very suicidal, man. Like, that's wild, dude.
He said he was suicidal, and he even said that he lost some work and stuff. He said, if it wasn't for you and your sister, I would have jumped off the balcony. I would have killed myself.
Wow. That's wild.
And so since that point, I couldn't care less.
No resentment then.
Couldn't care less because I just was like, this guy was struggling so hard.
That's a good therapist. I tried therapy for 2 sessions via Zoom, and my fucking therapist just kept looking at the bottom right where I know the time is on her computer. And I was like, I fucking hate this bitch.
And you hear a phone. Bing,
She's
bing,
like,
bing.
that's interesting you say that. How did that make you feel? I'm like, bitch, just look at the time. Why are you looking at it like you're waiting for the minute to turn over? Like, move your eyes.
You know what my therapist says? He goes, you're funny, eh? He goes, you're funny. You have a good sense of humor because your dad called you a fag when you were little.
Actually?
Yeah.
That's probably why I got it, you know? A lot of hate.
Maricon. He's always like, it was a defense mechanism.
Oh, yeah. My dad talked hard shit. That makes you funny if your dad talks shit to you?
I think you're trying to just alleviate the tension.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All my dad shit talking would be like about himself. Allah ala abuk, like God damn your father. Allah ala abuk, God damn your father.
So my dad used to say to me, "La puta que te parió." And I would say, "What does that mean?" He goes, "When you're 13, I'll tell you, but not now." But it was a very big swear word in Argentina, "La puta que te parió." And when I get older, I said, "What does that mean?" And he goes, "It means the whore that gave birth to you." But giving birth like an animal, it's a different form of birth.
Oh yeah, it's not civilized human birth.
But then I go, "Mom?"
Yeah. She's like, "That's me." She's like, "You call me hon?"
She's like crypt dancing.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay.
this is for Argentinians or Tenians.
Argentinians, yeah.
Good. Who is? What's something you've seen there, or something they do you've never seen anyone else do? They only do this.
What have I seen there that I haven't seen anywhere else?
And it could be just something your dad does that we'll assume is an Argentinian thing.
They have okay, I'll give you an example of something. And this is the scamming culture.
Gotcha.
In the 60s, they brought a band to South America called Los Beatles.
Not the Beatles, Los Beatles.
Los Beatles.
Yeah.
And they sold out a tour. And everybody went to go. They brought them on TV and all this stuff. And the first time they come out, everyone's like, yes! You can see that. You can Google it.
Yeah.
Los Beatles. And they come out and they're cheering. And then all of a sudden they go, shit, this isn't any of the songs. This isn't what they're doing. And there's a whole kind of little mini documentary about it. You can go on YouTube and look. And it was a scam. And what did the people do? Oh, well, good job. They scammed us pretty good. That was the mentality.
They weren't even mad.
I don't think so, really. No, the guy got away with it. These Los Beatles made money. I think they were from Florida.
Oh, they're English.
They're American.
That's hilarious. And they didn't even do the Beatles songs.
No.
They did their own songs.
Their songs are like love, 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 love. So it's the similar Los Beatles. Go Argentina. I think you can.
Los Beatles. Is that Oblala Diba?
Los Beatles.
Les Beatles. Argentina.
Or you go Los.
That's so
LOS.
funny.
Yeah, so they scam good.
And they appreciate a good scam down there.
I think this is El Dia de los Beatles. Yeah, the day that the Beatles came to Argentina. Yeah.
Is this one of the guys?
That's them there playing.
That's hilarious. And they kind of don't look that different.
They look like
They look like, yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
one TV station kidnapped them and
The
said,
Los
we
Beatles?
want them. And the other TV said, no, it's ours. So they came and they kidnapped them.
The
And
four
that was-
people.
They kidnapped the Los Beatles and these guys here.
Oh, they actually kind of look like them too. The American Beatles. Palabras de amor.
That's like words of love, you know?
That's hilarious. Fucking con artist, man.
BEET.
He's like, yeah, we toured pretty hard. It's a lot of deception back then. A lot of coke. That's so wild. And as far as Argentinians, who do they talk shit about? Like, who is the butt of jokes? When you talk to Argentinians, they all talk about, it's usually the neighboring country, but like, you're like also Jews.
The Jews, the blacks, the Chinese.
Yeah, same people pretty much.
They hate Brazilians
Yeah, that's what it is.
because of soccer. And growing up, my dad goes, the fucking Brazilians are fucking shit, man. Fucking shit. 2012, I go to Brazil for the World Cup. And I have never met a people that were so welcoming,
Yeah.
so friendly,
Yeah.
so outgoing,
Yeah.
so much fun to party with.
Just
And
better than Argentinians in every way.
Argentinians were there for the World Cup,
Yeah.
parked out in caravans on the beach, fighting people every night.
Yeah.
And I come back to Canada. I go, Dad, I met the Brazilians. The Brazilians are the nicest people ever. The Argentinians were miserable, aggressive assholes. And he goes, yeah, you know, that's how it is.
Yeah,
He never responds. He just
Dude,
agrees.
My mom growing up, she would make me fear and like hate everyone. She's like, don't bring the white person. Don't bring Somali. Don't bring this. Don't bring this. Don't bring this. Anything. And I was like, why are you hating everyone? Like, we're Sudanese. Like, look at all the problems we have. She goes, Sudani, we are the worst. The worst. I'm like, oh my God. You're just hateful as fuck.
So she hated everyone
She
but
hated
her
everyone.
own people the most.
Yeah, the most. We're like, we are the worst, she said.
I love
that.
that.
Fucking kills me, dude. But yo, bro, that's been the fucking episode, homie,
Dude,
as
thank you.
always. Yo, this was a blast, my guy.
It was fun, man. I hope you got something there.
Dude, we got all we need. Seeing my guy put up funny moments there. Yo, look into the camera and tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, Andrew Oporto on all social media. And I think that's it, man.
Yeah. Do you
Andrew
have a link
Oporto.
tree or something?
Yeah, it's all on there.
Okay. Yeah.
Andrew Oporto,
I
man,
put the
yeah.
link tree in there. So, yo,
Okay, sick.
get this guy in Toronto. Catch him doing some stand up or whatever he's up to as far as.
I've moved to performance art now.
Oh, have you?
No jokes.
Like instead of comedian?
Yeah, just performance artist. So it's a lot of just like serious, no joke stuff.
Oh, yeah? Well, look out for that. You're
I'm
not going to
like
laugh, but.
Hannah Gatsby. So.
Yeah, Hannah Gatsby. He's finding himself, all right? London bartending didn't do it. But from my end, I got no shows to plug as of right now. You can support the show directly at patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Follow me on my socials, Abbas Wahab. And if you like the episode, click follow, leave a comment, click like, all that stuff. The algorithm will pick it up. Thank you for coming on,
Thank
brother.
you. And can I just say, man, congrats on all your stuff. I come here, I get inspired because it's like you can see you running around doing the cameras and with your buddy Dante helping out. Like it's great what you're doing, man. So
Thank you,
all the
man. I
best to
appreciate you,
buddy.
bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Remember, if you got production needs, Person One Productions, Dante Williams is your man. We're going to get him a mic soon. We're working on it.
That's good.
Support Patreon, get him a mic. Yo, until next time, thanks for tuning in. Your boy, Abbas Wahab, signing out. Peace!